welcome to the Insane Asylum. I'm Joe. This asshole's Mark. We're coming to you
Well,
live.
I'm looking, but I don't see it.
Oh,
What the
half
hell?
alive, maybe.
What?
Half alive. He's double checking to make sure things are working over
How are
here.
we half alive?
Okay, this thing's just being stupid.
There it is, right there. See?
Yeah, I know. I said this was being stupid.
Oh, we got hits.
Oh, it's not very loud.
It's not very loud.
Not very loud.
At 100% right now. So
How's the sound?
at 100%, I'm at okay with sound. My sound's at 100% right now.
Oh, you're going through a laptop too,
Yeah, but
and Facebook.
Yeah.
And we've got this virus crap, and I don't mean to mention it, but because of that, everybody's going Facebook Live.
well, look, Lisa's on. Hi, honey.
So today, because again, we're fucked.
Well, yeah, you
we're
know,
kind of screwed.
we gotta do what we gotta do to protect ourselves and everybody else.
Yeah, I know.
We can't just willy nilly go out and do whatever we damn well please,
We
like
had
some of
some
these
great-
really fine little retards are doing in the world,
I know,
because they're going out and licking the shelves and the produce
Coughing on
and coughing
people.
on produce and people and licking all the stuff on the shelves at Walmart's and the grocery stores, causing the grocery stores to have to throw $35,000 worth of food away.
And people, you do realize that is called terrorism.
Like that.
People that are doing this
Pretty good,
are
ain't it?
all getting in trouble and getting charged with terrorism.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good
All
luck.
these little dumb fuckers that are out there doing this crap, and I don't know if anybody's really watching this or going to be paying attention to this, but hey, every one of you dumb fucks, every one of you that are out there pulling this shit, think it's a goddamn joke? No. You're going to be hunted down by the FBI, you're going to be arrested, and then you're going to get charges of terrorism against you. Now,
Yeah.
terrorism can also turn into treason, and the penalty for treason is death.
Boy.
And the government takes that
And the
those
thing is-
charges pretty seriously.
Yes, they do, especially now.
Yeah.
And the
And-
thing is, it's not just the licking of the...
Now, the thing
Stop
is, we
or the
weren't supposed to
fucking-
actually be doing a show on this,
No,
but
we'll get.
we're gonna get to we're gonna get to
But
what
then
we're
you
gonna
have
do.
people that have elderly coming through their line at their store that they're working at,
Now,
pulling
the
down their
thing is-
mask and coughing on them.
but I heard about that too. But
Oh,
here's
how
the
about the
thing,
hoarding?
okay? Now, grocery stores are stepping up, especially Woodman's in our area. It's a co-op grocery store. They're stepping up. They're giving the first hour of shopping to the elderly.
That ain't fair. I have heard that the elderly are one of the ones that are hoarding shit. And what about the rest of us?
How about letting me finish what I'm saying?
Okay.
Stores have to put limits.
Okay? They're also stepping up to the fact that they're limiting things. Okay?
Finally.
Woodman's is no, they started it originally.
Did they?
Yeah,
Woodman's is the original.
Remember, we were there.
Woodman's
and
is the
two
one that
toilet
started
paper
it.
and two paper
No.
towels.
No,
Now
that
it's
was-
up to
that
two.
was all-
Now
I
it's up
know.
to two.
I'm just saying
But
that's what
originally
was.
it was one. If you bought a 6-pack or more, or 6-pack or better of toilet paper at Woodman's, you were limited to one.
See, when we went to Woodman's before,
Now
It all
it's
started-
two.
it was two toilet paper,
Yeah,
two
now it's
cases
two.
of toilet paper and 2 cases of paper towel.
That's
Yep.
because there's so many of
So
them.
then they once went down and then came back
Doomsday
up.
preppers out there and people that are panicking because.
But
they're
what
getting
about the
mixed
stores?
messages.
Or the people that don't have a Woodman's around. I've gone to Pick and Save and I've gone to Piggly Wiggly. Nothing is limited, and if they're letting the elderly go,
Okay,
and
Now, we got people popping in and out, and I think it's because we were supposed to be talking about Elvis.
Yeah. Well.
yes,
Now,
Anyway,
we just went on to a rant because
yeah, we kind of
We're
started
kinda-
a rant thanks to these
call it
two.
kind of spring fever.
Anyway.
I mean, it's kind of.
Yeah. fever.
So we're going to be talking about Elvis now.
Cramped up and can't go out on our investigations like we planned. So,
Now we can kind of tie Elvis into this to us paranormal stuff
oh, yeah,
because he's
a
supposed to be
conspiracy
dead.
theory. Yeah,
He's
a
supposed to be dead.
conspiracy theory.
So yes, he is
And
part
we
of the
do
conspiracy
conspiracy
theory.
theories.
We do the conspiracies. We do
and he's one of the
Paranormals,
biggest.
we do the unexplained.
He's one
Well,
of the
like
biggest.
our sign says.
Well, he's one of the biggest conspiracy theories in the music
Can't read it.
industry. Or
There's
the
a skull in the way.
industry.
You want to move the skull, the. Now you really can't read it because it's light.
Okay, no, you gotta move back.
Oh,
Thank you.
Whoa,
Good job.
jeez.
So anyway,
I made that nice little sign. by
yes,
the way.
I know you did. Because of your toy you've
I
been
should
playing
grab
with.
the hat.
Which you haven't been able
I
to play
haven't
with much because you've been doing your schoolwork and
Maybe
other
because I
shit.
didn't have my shirt on, I
schoolwork,
should have worn
dealing
the
with
hat.
work.
Hey, where's the hat?
I'll go grab it.
Just, no, she can grab it.
I can grab it.
It's right outside the door.
Okay, fine. Be that way. Well, I guess I'm going to solo this one because my co-host just got up and walked away.
Anyway,
Ah, it's my sister.
I don't know if I would want to support that without the sparkles. So
you want me to do some without sparkles?
yeah, maybe.
Okay, I will do the next one without sparkles.
There.
Yep. And my sister's on. My sister Jamie. I'm typing to her right
I
now.
don't do that. If I do it right,
No.
I said if I do it right and I didn't have the facial hair, I'd probably look like Wayne from Wayne's World.
Yeah, you want to get that? Yeah.
Yeah, this one like this. So
Wayne's World, Rain's World, rock on.
it's Wayne's World, party time. Excellent.
Yeah, party time. Excellent.
Okay, anyway, back on to the conspiracy
So-
theory.
Yeah, she my sister's just damn.
I'm gang busting it. See, I left the tag on my hat.
He doesn't like the sparkles, though.
Yeah, I'd never seen him in a hat.
But no, you've seen me in my cowboy hats.
Yeah, that's it. The cowboy hat, not
You
not
know,
a baseball
In
cap.
order to make somebody else a hat, I'd have to put the stuff on the back.
I don't.
For me?
Yes.
No. I only do this every now and then.
Well, you can't wear the headsets.
Well,
with the
you know
thing in
what?
front.
I could put Insane Asylum on the back.
Yeah, you could right
But anyway.
across the top. So anyway,
Back to Elvis.
Actually, I could put.
yeah,
that
it looks like
upside.
Ditton Bill's. Are you even paying attention to who's joining us over
Oh,
there,
no,
woman?
I don't have it up.
Our biggest.
Why not? Bring it up so you know who the hell's
I don't
joining
you use
us.
You use Edge.
Don't you? Doesn't it tell you on our
It's automatically
splicer
in the Edge.
doohickey
Just hit
thing?
the Facebook.
Oh, she just closed us.
No,
she
I
didn't.
didn't.
No, she didn't. She knows what she's doing. She's just on my computer. She's got to figure it out again.
So anyway, now, I got him going on this Elvis thing when I got here because the other day I came home from work, I walk in, and Lisa, my significant other, was watching a documentary. She said it was a documentary whenever I came in. It was about Elvis. So I caught like the last 25 minutes of it or so.
And you can find this on Amazon.
Now,
Prime.
this is on Amazon Prime.
It's called
and-
Elvis Alive,
No,
or Found
Elvis Found Alive. That's what it's called.
Elvis Found Alive.
Elvis Found Alive. Now, when we looked it up on Prime, it said that it was a mockumentary. But there's a lot of accuracies to it, too. A lot of things that are known and some things that make a lot of sense that aren't as well known as what they were talking about. So, it was pretty interesting to find.
And this is the second episode. That
Yeah,
we're
this is
doing.
the second episode. The first
first one
episode, Lisa sat in with
Was
him
his significant other.
because I don't know a lot about Elvis. I never really got on that Elvis train
I
to
guess
where.
I'm your local expert.
Yeah, I never got on the Elvis train to Graceland because, I just never really cared.
I've never been there.
I never got into his music, really. I never got into his movies. I never got into pretty much any of it.
Actually, his movies aren't, some of them aren't that bad.
Well,
But the biggest conspiracy is, and it has been since the day he supposedly passed away, which was August 17th or 16th.
August 16th of
1977.
1977.
All right.
they marked it as the 15th on the calendar on that.
Well,
But it's
no,
that's
that was the day that was the day.
That was their
fake
that
party.
The
was
dummy was supposed to
their
die.
projection date.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that was their projection date.
So
Otherwise,
anyway,
it was August 16th, 1977.
okay, we'll get to that. But anyway,
Yes.
So-
Lisa has been to Graceland.
ever since Elvis passed away, supposedly, and today he'd be 85 if he was still alive. If he's still alive,
Yeah.
he'd be 85 years old. So it is plausible. Okay?
Yeah.
Because people do live that long.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of
Uh-huh.
interesting. Are you sure about that?
I don't know.
Are you gonna live that long?
I'm over 300 years old.
Oh, I would. You wish you
So
were.
I've been around a long fucking time.
Boy, you look really good for a
I know it,
300-year-old.
don't I? Yeah, I
No.
wish I could find that.
No, he's
Nope. wrong
he's
way.
too frail.
There. Yoda said it for me. You like that bullshit button?
That ain't even bullshit. That's
Oh boy,
horse shit.
men in their toys.
Just wait. Just wait. Anyway, so he's been spotted all over. Yeah, the place started making more money. And the conspiracy theories started. But if you dig into those conspiracy theories and you watch some of these documentaries, and there's a few good ones out there. One was hosted by Bill Bixby. Okay.
And yeah, I remember
And
they,
then-
they actually showed part of that
yes,
show,
they did.
and we're talking about that.
But everything they showed, they also showed video proof of some of this, how it was kind of fact.
It's kind of interesting how
they.
they're saying this is a mockumentary, but yet they were showing some facts. They were
And
showing a lot
For a
of
lot
facts
of
in it.
people that would listen to this,
It's kind of
that would
interesting.
probably that are like diehard Elvis fans or are Elvis fans just as much as I am, they would sit and listen to that guy talk, and their jaws would probably drop because not even a good impersonator can sound just like him.
That genuine.
And I heard
And
a
this
lot of
guy sounded
impersonators
pretty
that are damn
frickin'
fucking
genuine.
You know,
good.
when you guys first turned it on, I wasn't even in here, but I was listening to it. And I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah,
You know,
I know.
Oh my god.
the guy's voice
And-
sounded
and
so
it's
much
just-
like Elvis, and
it wasn't just that.
it's the way.
Did you
he talked,
hear the way he was talking
The
and the-
phrases he said.
It's
the
not
way
just
he said
it's
them.
not just the phrases he was saying and stuff. I mean, the way he was. Yeah, Lisa said in the. I'm reading here. You're supposed to be reading these things, not
I don't
me.
have
I'm
my
supposed to be
laptop out, I'm
talking.
sorry.
So yeah, Lisa said in the
In the
documentary, Elvis said Lisa and Scylla turned Graceland into a circus.
Yeah,
They
And
did.
yeah, he did.
They did.
They did. They did do that.
I mean, yeah, it's a nice tourist attraction.
But the
it's-
thing is, what I was saying before I interrupted myself on that, just listening to the way the guy spoke, I mean, he literally spoke like Elvis spoke whenever he did interviews.
yeah, his mannerisms, everything.
It wasn't just his mannerisms; it was the fact that he would skip a little, be like almost a stutter.
Yeah,
or like the little lisp every once in a
Yep.
while that you hear.
yeah, and
This
that
guy
goes
was
back,
this guy
that
was
goes
good.
Back and
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, and it's been a long time since I've seen that one documentary. There's a very, very good documentary, and it was not a documentary. Maybe you'd call it a biography because it was a movie based on the real facts of his life, and it came out before he passed away.
That would be a biography.
And it was starred Kurt Russell playing Elvis Presley. Okay, and I think somewhere along in that movie, if I'm not mistaken, they made a mention of a small little mention of a fact or something where he got teased or picked on because of the way he talked. You know. and it was like when he was like a little boy or something, like not quite in like middle school or elementary school or something. And he went crying home to mama or something like that.
Being knocked on.
He ended up out there at the
Yeah.
gravesite of Jesse Garrett.
Say
his
she's
twin
she's
brother
responding again,
that-
and you
that-
still never mind.
that
Oh,
passed
he
away.
was talking. I saw it.
That's passed away at stillbirth. He went running up to there to kind of, when he got picked on or something, he'd go running to the gravesite to talk to his twin brother that died at birth. Now there's a lot of rumors around that one, but the only rumor that's true, and I don't know which one's fact, but there's several rumors. But the only thing that's fact is that he did.
Yeah, we
die.
just watched it before we started the show.
But it's whether or not did he die at stillbirth or did he live a couple hours before he passed away. That's the only true controversy.
I don't like interrupting you guys when you're talking. That's why I
Whatever.
don't.
So
Yeah. So anyway, we did watch the mockumentary right before we started the show. So we watched all but the last 9 minutes of it.
And the last 9 minutes basically is him sitting there answering questions that the interviewer is asking him, and said something about. There's one of the things he's talking about, how he also said that what's his name?
the colonel.
No, the one that shot JFK.
Oh, fuck! We just talked about that again. Damn it!
I hate that
I do too.
mental block.
Oh my God! Yes.
Oswald.
Yeah,
How Oswald was actually a patsy.
which we already knew that too.
Yeah.
But I knew that from doing research on that, on the JFK
Thing
thing
right.
and everything as well. The funny thing about that JFK, I actually got to see the grassy knoll. I drove through that area.
Yeah.
When I went down to Dallas, when my company sent me down there for their training.
She said in the end they took his picture.
Did he even mention? Did you notice where he mentioned where? Yeah, he stopped at the gas station and punched a guy out.
Well, no, he said he stopped at that gas station. The guy attacked him, and then he hit him. Then he
Right,
turned around and
but,
knocked his
that
block
was,
off.
That was the whole full story, but you know what happened, don't you?
That was over here in
Full House
Madison.
Corners.
Yeah.
There's a plaque right there.
Which gas station was that?
Well, it's not a
Alright.
gas
It's
station.
not a gas
now.
station anymore. It's the car lot.
Shit's
Shep's-
Auto.
It's
Shep's-
Shep's Auto,
Shep's Auto.
where I got my car.
Shit's
I don't
Auto.
know why you're saying Shit's Auto.
Because they
I've
fucked
gotten
me
cars
over.
there.
Yeah,
I've had-
Because he
good
has
time.
bad.
I've had a good
I'll
thing with them.
support Shep's
Anyway.
Auto. Ship's Auto.
So
But
that,
yeah,
that
that
plaque
happened.
is still there.
Yeah, the plaque's in the.
That happened.
That plaque's right by the sidewalk.
Ah,
And
okay.
and it's like in the ground, like almost like a tombstone type thing. Just a flat plaque in the ground. So
Okay.
you can't see it in the wintertime, but in the summertime, it's right there on next to the sidewalk. And
both of us reached after that bit. That thing.
he,
What's
Very
with you guys
annoying.
and moths,
I don't
man?
know. I think we gotta get some off.
She-
I think
he
you
wa-
got. I think
he
you
wants-
guys got the Mothman here or
He
something.
wants me to go get some mothballs.
Yeah, I opened
And
up
put 'em in
closet
the-
door.
How are you gonna get that? You got to have a magnifying glass, some
It's
very,
got
very,
some
tiny
fucking tweezers.
pair of tweezers.
I don't know. Ask him. He told me to go get some mothballs.
They don't sell those at the stores. If you want mothballs, you got to catch the moth, make sure it's a male, and
You know
then you
what I
got to
told
cut its balls
You know what
off.
I told him? They stink. They
I
smell.
know what they smell like.
I don't like the smell of mothballs.
Nobody does.
But he did. He said he opened the one closet
Get it.
and he had two of them come after him.
Hey, he just flew away from you.
But
Anyway, we're getting off the subject again, guys.
That's because damn moths flying around screwing with me. You guys got the fucking Mothman here or something. Anyway,
Lisa goes, what did you think of the part where they switched bodies?
that was interesting.
well, see, there's a lot about.
But the funny thing is, nobody, even after that, nobody could get the facts straight.
well, nobody could get their facts.
No,
straight.
none of the people that were involved in it could have got
Yeah.
their facts
I
straight.
mean, Joe Esposito knew the plan,
Yeah.
Yet he screwed it up.
Yeah, he said he was in bed.
He
know,
said
he
he
wasn't in the
found them in
bathroom.
bed
That's
when
Yeah.
actually he was laying on the
their
bathroom
original
floor.
plan.
Yeah, I know. That's what he said their original plan was.
But see, then you got the thing like because why didn't you accept that? They asked him, why didn't you accept the flag? And he gave the only answer that made sense if he faked his own death.
Yeah.
He didn't want to commit patriotic fraud against the country.
No, he
That's
shouldn't.
basically what he was saying. He didn't say it in those exact terms on
Yeah.
that show, but that's basically what he was saying. But they didn't mention what they didn't mention in there is that to this day, as far as I know, and I every now and then I'll just get curious. None of his life insurance policies have been cashed in.
No, I didn't see that in there either.
Okay.
But that
hear,
is
or hear that.
or
You
hear
know,
that.
It didn't mention the fact that it did, but it didn't quite. That Priscilla knew. Something
Okay,
was
that's
up.
weird.
He did mention that he's been in contact with his daughter since then in there.
So Lisa knows.
Right. So that would explain when you saw them in these interviews, like on Johnny Carson or something like that, later, and it got to the questions about Elvis and stuff like that.
That they
There
didn't
wasn't
break
a whole lot of breaking down or sadness in their faces
or grief
or
or mourning.
Okay. And I always wondered that from day one, why she didn't just freak out when started to
I
ask
wonder
or
if
break
he.
down
I
real
wonder.
bad or
I wonder if he had a thing to do with that one video that she has about "Don't Cry, Daddy," where he's singing with her.
no, that's just technology.
Yeah, but I wonder.
That's just technology.
Well,
Are you sure?
That's
I mean,
just
yeah,
technology.
it did
Think
just
about
it showed him singing on
They
a
ain't
screen on
gonna-
the back.
They wouldn't sit there and take that chance. That'd be a pretty big
Probably
risk.
not.
That would have been a pretty
But don't
big
you think
risk.
he could have been behind the scenes?
Well, yeah, he was probably behind it, telling him which was probably his
fucker.
favorite audio pick of it.
Yeah.
It's for them to
I thought I got him.
Nope.
rip the
It's right
audio
there.
out of his recorded music,
Yeah.
or something like that. But the other thing, because this is the second time
What?
I watched this. When I watched this with you, Mark, I missed this the first time around, and this was really got me catching because we were trying to, because we said it was a mockumentary, and I'm going, well, maybe they did that to
Well, yeah,
cover up
it's
the
a
fact
good
that
it's a good
real.
possibility that they could
Okay.
have covered
Yeah.
it up that way by
But
calling it
The
that
part that really
because there's a
got
lot
my
in it.
fucking mind.
There's too many facts in there
Oh, there's
Yeah,
a lot of
but
facts in
here's
there.
the part that
that you
really
can actually go and look up.
here's the part that blew me away when they asked, and I didn't know this until just now. Okay, I didn't know anything about this. I thought it was with the others.
Mm-hmm.
But when they asked about his DEA badge, why it wasn't displayed at Graceland with his other badges, and he goes, oh, reaches inside the jacket he was wearing, and it's like, here, it's right here.
And it showed it.
And he
Yeah,
showed
he
it.
showed it.
He showed it, but you
But
couldn't
the
really-
ID part was blacked out
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
by the camera, or after
By the shadow.
because they edited it.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean that right there, not without missing a beat.
Without missing a
he's-
beat,
Yeah.
he just whipped
He's like,
it out and
yeah,
said,
yeah,
Oh,
"Here,
because it's right here.
it's right here.
It's right here.
That's why
I keep it with me
I keep it with me. Yeah, at all times.
because he is still part of that
But yet-
organization.
But yet he also said he retired when he was 70.
Still,
About 15 years.
Is
ago.
that kind of like once with the organization, always with the
yeah,
organization?
pretty much.
Could be. I mean,
The CIA or DEA or whatever, they're kind of like the mafia. Once in, you're in.
but some of those questions.
The only
some
way
of
out
those-
is death.
Yeah, and some of those questions he was asked, and some of those personal things, some of that I've heard before, and others it was just sounded too personal that I don't think it might have been in very. You
Well,
would have
not-
had to really dug deep to find some of that
Yeah.
information.
There's
Not
a
only
lot. There's a
that,
lot that he said that sounded correct.
Yeah,
That if it was something that they had found and brought it to the surface, then I agree with what Joe said. They would have had to dig extremely deep to find it.
But not only that, with the questions that he was being asked, he didn't even beat around the bush.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. He had an answer like this for it.
Yeah, he didn't even have to think about it.
But you got to think though. I mean, this
and it didn't seem like it was.
This was
or scripted.
Well, that's what I'm gonna say though. This had to have been edited. They're not gonna throw it up there raw like we do our stuff.
Yeah.
But it is just plain and simple.
Lisa made another comment. Did you know Oprah's related to Elvis? Oprah mentioned it when she went to Graceland. Elvis's dad and her mother were distant cousins.
Good possibility.
Yeah, it's a good possibility.
Living in the South, yeah.
He said
very good possibility.
He grew up in the poorest part of Tupelo, Mississippi.
Yep.
And the poorest part of Memphis when they moved. So I mean, when he cut that first record at Sun Records, what did he say he was doing? He was an electrician at the time.
Yeah.
He was studying to be an electrician.
He studied to be an electrician, but he was wired backwards.
Yes.
Right. Meaning he was wired to play music. Yeah.
Not wired backwards, wired backwards.
Yeah.
Backwards.
See, that's the thing. When you got people talking Southern, and I'm sitting here, I can tell you what they're saying. But if you don't understand it, I can give you an understanding. Because
some of that didn't make sense. Because
my family comes from the South.
This group found him. It seemed like too easily. So the way they found him and all of that by getting these FBI documents and stuff like that, that part of it's kind of hoaxy. And why would he still be there if he was still under the federal witness protection program?
Where did they find him at? Did they still find him at Kalamazoo, Michigan?
No, he was in California.
He was in California.
Somewheres. But anyway, and he was still living under the name John Burroughs.
Yeah.
Okay, which was an alias he's always used. One of the aliases he's used.
And the one that he used the most with the DEA.
No, this is an alias, a fake name.
No, but he used... Didn't you see the documents? The documents had that name on it because that was his name for the DEA.
Well,
him.
He was using that name before he was even the DEA agent.
Yeah.
Was
he? Yes.
Yeah.
Because
that was one of his aliases whenever he was
into the hotel, so nobody knew he was there and he wouldn't get flooded with.
And that's why when you seen him picking the things, the phrases and stuff, sentences out of that alleged letter he wrote to Nixon, he's in the letter he told Nixon he was at a specific hotel under the name John Burroughs.
Right. See, so there's a lot of things that were common knowledge that are easily found out there, especially the stuff about the DEA badge and him getting it from Nixon. That was all a big write up in all kinds of papers all over the news. So there's all kinds of information you can find on that. But some of those little personal details, like when he was sitting there talking about his mama, or when he was sitting there talking about his dad.
Whenever he was saying
after his mom died, and it was like only a few months later, and he moved in with that Stanley person, that woman named Stanley, very well. I don't know if the time frame was out there, but her name, the Stanley name, was well known out there. I mean, that part was well known because there was two brothers involved. They were like.
Well, also he said that he also said it was only a couple of months after his mom passed that his dad got together with her.
That part, the time frame, I'm not sure that was like a common knowledge thing out there that's easy to find. Okay,
maybe it may not be. It just depends.
Pieces like that.
Well, some of the other stuff too.
Only he would know.
Some of the other stuff he was talking about too is one of the questions to him in this was why was it that you never maintained a relationship with any of the women that you were involved with during your filmings and stuff. And he said that what he would do is what he would do is, if he started getting too close to the women, he'd break it off because he felt like he was disrespecting his mother because of
Right,
the
right.
relationship he
Because
had with
he
his
was
mom.
Yeah.
extremely cool.
He
Because
couldn't
he was
have a
extremely
relationship
close
with
close
anybody
to his mom,
else
right?
like he did with his mom.
you know,
But
and they
that's
also
kind of
mentioned, they mentioned the fact that his dad went to prison there too. So then it was just him and his mom for a while.
yeah,
Yeah.
and because of his twin brothers, uh, dying, death upon
They
birth type of
lost.
thing.
They shared a loss because she lost a son, and he lost a twin.
Yeah.
So he lost part of himself, and she lost part of herself there.
Yeah, so he probably
So
never
they had a
felt right
strong
to begin
bond.
with.
So yeah, I
He
find
felt-
it
he
kind of
probably felt
interesting
like he
because that
lost
He
was
never felt whole.
Yeah.
He said that in quite a few interviews that you can probably find out there if he ever got. He didn't like getting asked about Jesse Guerin.
I
No.
don't
Very.
blame him.
He didn't like that subject brought up too often. I knew that, but the guy had so much respect and was so uh, raised, with that old-fashioned morals. Don't disrespect your elders. Don't, and all of that
right.
came out in this interview with this guy. All of it, everything.
Yeah.
His generosity, his passion for caring for people, everything, right there. And some of that you can't fake like that. And the way he was explaining stuff, and the way he was talking, and some of those little tiny things that, like I said, you have to dig super deep to get.
Right. I thought it was a very interesting mockumentary,
Yeah.
but the thing is, it, I don't know. There's just
I'm
a
not so
lot
sure it was
in
a
it,
documentary.
and that's what I'm saying. There was a lot in it that made a lot of sense.
Yep.
And stuff that wasn't well known that he actually answered questions to that made a lot of sense.
Especially when he talked about how he felt about different things.
Right, and I wouldn't be
Like
surprised.
they asked him about if he feels his music was the start of all dud. The brain fart.
Yeah, and then you got him talking about how he didn't like doing some of those movies, and he wanted to
Yeah.
do better stuff, and the Colonel was doing that.
Yeah, the Colonel did screw him a lot.
And
He
the
was
thing
a
is that-
That's
douchebag.
something that
and he talked about all of those details about the Colonel and the Colonel holding him back and stuff like that.
I
A lot
don't
of
read
that
all
wasn't
the
all
comments.
common
You're supposed
knowledge
to.
either. You would have had to dig
Like I said,
pretty
we
fucking
should
deep to
have got
find some of
Lisa
that
in here
stuff.
as a Skype.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would have had it. Yeah, we should have thought about this all earlier, and we would have had more time to have that set up and ready to go by the time we got done watching that documentary.
Well, I didn't think about it, and if I would have,
yeah,
I would have had her hook up her Skype on her tablet, and we could have Skyped her in, and
well, if the
she
weather
could have been
doesn't
the
hold
third
out, hopefully we'll have our first interview next weekend.
Well, the thing is, what I was talking to you about earlier is, we'll do a test run on the Skype sometime this week.
Yep.
So let's take a vote here. Do you think he's still alive?
I'm not sure. I mean
Not sure?
that mockumentary was done in 2012.
So you think it's a possibility?
Now, if he is, then you never know. He could be alive today. Could be 85 years old, living in California, living wherever.
Well,
That was done in 2012. Now, if that was real and everything, it's a possibility that they may have moved him because
Yeah.
possibility he could have arranged that himself because he was just tired of not being able to tell his story, and he wanted to tell it before
Exactly.
he passed away because he was getting old.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a possibility too.
You know.
So all this mockumentary for me does is it just brings up more questions.
Now,
Yeah.
from that kind of picture on the cover of that movie we watched, the cover of it,
Get it behind you. Get
where
it.
it kind of had him looking like an old man,
Uh huh.
you know. that same kind of looking picture, somebody snapped, and I don't know if it was this year, and I think it might have been this year, or it was the year he turned 80, and there was a celebration at Graceland there. Okay, and somebody snapped a picture and said that and put it out, and somebody also snapped video and put it out there and said Elvis attended his own birthday party at Graceland,
Yeah, possibly.
his 80th
And then
birthday
you have,
party. I think it was his 80th. So
oh
it
look,
would've been
Molly
about
joined.
5 years ago.
Hi, Molly.
And I watched that thing several times, and I looked at the picture, and it looked a lot like the dude that was on the cover there,
Yeah.
kind of.
Well, then again, too, they showed that one picture that was talked about that through the door they
Right,
could
that I
see the
told you
person
about. That
in
was
there.
like that was taken like 2 years,
And it looked
after
like-
he supposedly passed away in '77. That was taken in '79 or '78. A year. It was a year after. It was like the first anniversary of his death at Memorial Gardens,
Right.
and he was sitting there in that pool house watching.
And then Lisa says, "Did you notice all the records he had?
Yeah,
If he switched bodies, someone had to have sent him all that.
Yeah,
All the stuff he's got. Yeah, I mean,
because he's got gold records and that on
he's
the
got
wall.
shit. Yeah, he's
See,
got shit
now-
from.
so now
And
see,
pictures.
that ties in.
Because he got a picture with Nixon
All right.
sitting on his.
No, Well,
that one
that
thing.
picture's a. But see, there some of this. All right, here. The other thing about this, and I'm glad you mentioned that. Now, this goes to tie this.
I didn't.
into
Lisa did.
the Bill Bixby. The Bill Bixby. Yeah, was that Bill Bixby that did that?
Motherfucker.
Yeah, Bill Bixby, the Incredible Hulk. Anyway, that TV special that he hosted about Elvis being alive or not.
Yeah.
Okay. On there, that FBI agent, I can't remember his name, but the one that was working with, he also authored a book like Gail Brewer or Giorgio did. He said that when they did an inventory of Elvis Presley's estate, okay, after the death, and that's what they do, okay, they
Right.
inventory the estate.
Okay.
There was a lot of personal, Elvis Presley personal effects missing from the estate, like rings and jewelry.
Which he had, both his hands had rings on them.
Right.
Yep.
And the day before he passed away, supposedly, there were several bank accounts closed by him.
Wow,
Okay.
Interesting.
very interesting.
Okay.
Because if you didn't know you were going to die, who would do that? That brings up that question.
I mean, it ties. It's you know.
It all ties in together.
I mean, it makes sense if you think about it. If he's doing that, plus he was also, and it wasn't mentioned much because they were trying to tie all of this in because of their conspiracy. You know, tie it all into the Captain Marvel Junior comics like that, which I thought was quite interesting myself. But shit, my train just derailed.
You were at the Marvel.
It fucking happens. I gotta add more to that one. You'll never know what pops up. then.
Lisa says there's a room at Graceland that's locked where all his stuff is stored.
Anyway, so with all that being said, they got all this stuff missing from his estate. The insurance policies never cashed in, and the day before he died, bank accounts closed and money withdrawn. But a lot of the personal effects that were missing from the inventory of the estate was stuff that he would wear almost on a daily
Yeah.
basis.
Yeah.
Clothes he would wear on a daily basis. This kind of stuff was missing from the estate.
Yeah.
It's inventory.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, he had to get everything that he needed together.
had to
So
get
if
some
he
of
was
the
going to be
essentials
going
and
into
have some personal items. Exactly.
exactly.
And then, you know, and then him to say that they turned Graceland into a circus, that's exactly what they did in a way because it costs money to see the place, and I'm pretty sure he probably wouldn't have wanted it that way.
No.
But in
But
order to totally say that, he's probably had to be down there already.
but at the same time,
Been visiting there just to see everything that.
if he is under the federal witness protection program, he's probably going to need more money than they give him. The government's a stingy motherfuckers.
Yeah,
So-
except for when it comes to paying their politicians.
Remember
Of
the
course.
theory? Well, remember that theory I told you earlier before we started this about Lisa Marie. She was supposed to originally inherit the entire estate, Elvis and Presley Enterprises, the whole works. Okay, and take over running that when she was 18. Then it got pushed. Then it got pushed again. It got pushed several times. And she still hasn't, as far as I know, to this day, Lisa Marie still hasn't taken control of the estates.
Hmm.
Now tell me why that is.
Well, for one thing, I think because she married Michael Jackson and they didn't
Well,
want
yeah,
Michael
Elvis
Jackson
didn't like
getting
that
his
either.
hands on that.
You know,
And then there was Nicolas Cage. Well, Cage, I think Elvis approved more of Cage than he did Jackson.
right.
Yeah.
But the thing about this also is, Michael Jackson only did it for trying to get the music rights. The music rights.
Lisa said when I went, it was very cool. When you walked
But-
in, it was white with gold staircase, and everything was just like it was when he supposedly died.
Right. But, I think Priscilla still funnels him money.
No, I wouldn't
Somehow.
doubt it. I'm sure she
Kind of
knows.
like
Him
kind
comfortable.
of like royalties.
I'm
from
sure.
Right.
I'm sure
Graceland.
Scylla knows he's still
Oh, I'm
alive.
sure
Yeah.
Lisa, didn't he also say something about how he communicated with his daughter?
I
after
don't
some of
remember him
those
saying any of that.
marriages?
No. I don't remember
Or
him
maybe
saying
he was
any of
at
that.
one of those, but that would explain the Father of the Bride song on Spelling on the Stone. Which he did talk about too, which is
Mhm.
exactly what everybody's theory was too. Why?
Because why would you want
I
to see your own name on a tombstone?
on a
I wouldn't want
tombstone,
that
don't
bad
wanna-
juju.
Yeah,
And
don't wanna
where's he
curse
I don't
himself.
from?
want that juju.
Where's he from?
Mississippi. Mississippi. Tupelo.
Pretty close to New Orleans and South, where all that juju and witchcraft and voodoo stuff
Voodoo.
is going on.
It's
Yeah,
the voodoo.
voodoo. Yeah. And
The
the
voodoo
way
dolls.
he said that, I don't want no bad juju.
You ever find yourself dancing around here for no reason at night?
No.
Well, then I gotta work on that doll.
Jeez, if he gets up and does something that's uncharacteristic of him,
he'll get up
I'll
and do
know
the
what
jig.
happened.
He'll
Yeah,
get
you
him
know
do
who
the
to
jig.
blame.
I know who to blame. I'll call him and say,
Remember
Mark,
that,
what are you
world?
doing?
If I ever do anything abnormal, he's to blame. Boy, I can get away with
Wait
a
a
lot of
minute.
crazy shit.
Wait a
now.
minute,
I'm
wait a minute,
not
wait a minute,
fancy.
wait a minute. You always do abnormal things. So in other words, if he does anything normal,
That's because he has Abby Normal's brain. He went and seen Dr. young Dr. Frankenstein.
what
I
was
gotta get a
that?
better
Lisa
one. It
says
said
just
fuck
find a
off,
Twinkie.
Just find a Twinkie.
but I don't have Twinkies anymore. I still have ding dongs.
Ding dongs. You
Ding
got a ding dong?
dongs.
You're a ding dong now?
No.
Yeah, he's a ding dong now.
Mhm.
Turned him off at Twinkies.
But yeah, that was but the guy said so much that
Yeah, I don't know. It's just there was just too much there that
Yeah.
seemed that actually seemed viable.
yeah.
So-
If you you don't believe us about this, man, watch this fucking documentary.
It's
on
not a real.
Amazon
It
Prime.
doesn't say documentary. It
I
says
know
a
it's
mockumentary.
documentary.
but
But still, I mean, there is so much there.
I
It just
grew up-
seems so real.
I'm 53. I grew up listening to Elvis Presley because my mom adored him. I know where I was. The day
Yeah,
he
well, my
supposedly passed
sister-
away. I remember my mom and Aunt Donna crying at the kitchen
My
table.
oldest sister was at one of his concerts and got beer spilled on her.
And I was like 10 years old when he died and all this. And I remember all the stories. I remember the newspapers. I remember everything. But when that guy was, how can you go from, and that's the other thing I don't understand. How can you go from being this fat to being super thin, like an early 1970s version of Elvis Presley in the coffin? I thought
Well, did
that
you hear what
body
he
kind of
did?
bloat.
No, hang on. Did you? No,
I know what I heard.
no.
On that.
Bodies bloat after they have been in the water,
But see that wax dummy theory.
but they
was-
don't. They don't bloat upon dying in regular.
But that wax dummy theory
Um,
came out like the year after, like the year after people were saying it was a wax dummy. National Enquirer had it. It's a wax dummy. You saw his cousin.
Well,
saying
he said it wasn't a wax dummy. He said it was the actual person.
No,
The flip. No, he.
It was a
Oh,
wax head with a mask,
In
and the
coffin
body was
picture.
the wax from
When they
one
did
of
the
his
oh,
outfits.
Oh, okay, the
And
coffin
they
picture.
got that. They weren't supposed to allow any pictures and stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't
And that
supposed to be
one famous
viewed.
Picture.
Somebody
Ended up on
His
every
nose
cover
didn't look right. It
somebody
looked
was paid
pudgy.
off from the Enquirer, I
Inside.
think?
No,
From the
he
inside
said
of
the way he said it was one of the
Memphis Mafia.
no,
One of
it
his
was
family
one
members.
no. Stop. Let me explain what I remember hearing. One of the mafia people, bosses, still didn't believe it, and he got those guys to do
Okay,
that.
that was after.
But he also
afterwards.
No,
This
that was how the
at the
picture
show-
got
no,
taken.
but this
that's
was
how the
showing.
picture got taken too.
No, this
His
was at the
cousin.
showing. His cousin got
No.
paid off from the Enquirer, and a
No, it
camera
wasn't.
got
I
left
don't think it
into
was
the
the
funeral.
Enquirer. I think
No.
it was one of the
He
mafia
got paid
guys.
off by the mafia dude.
Yes,
Okay.
'Cause they didn't
I'm
believe
pretty
it.
sure it said it was one of the
That's who
mafia
paid
people
off.
that
Okay.
did it.
I heard it before.
And then
that
those
even
four
came out.
guys, the day after, those four guys that went to steal the body, worked for that mob
Yeah,
boss.
that, but
But either way, the picture got taken and it
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to get taken.
no, because there were supposed to be no
So,
cameras
Right,
whatsoever.
Yeah.
exactly. There
in
was
the
supposed to be
funeral.
no cameras allowed anywhere near that. But that particular picture got plastered on the cover of every smut magazine, as my stepfather liked to call them. They were like the National Enquirer,
Yeah.
the Star, and all those. Plus, it was on all your local newspapers and then all over the place. And people were looking at it, and they were saying, "No, that's not Elvis. That's not Elvis." And they started
That's
having
because-
these people coming out like
That's
this
because
cousin.
the wax head that
and the
they were made, that
hairdresser.
they had made to get, and the one person had it on their desk because they had to approve it, was of a 25-year-old Elvis.
Right.
Yeah, and they had the makeup. They had to use makeup
And then
to
they glued-
to do it, and then
They glued the hair on.
hair and sideburns on. And when the hairdresser went up there and he touched the sideburns,
Sideburn came off.
that wasn't in there.
no,
Yeah, that was.
part of it was. He said the sideburn. He
That was in
didn't
there.
say anything about the hairdresser. He just said one of the sideburns fell off because they had to glue
Yeah.
it on there. But see, that was
Then he-
also
he-
in an article
Operation Fountain Pen.
afterwards when they
Yep.
That's what Lisa wrote.
interviewed the hairdresser because the hairdresser was coming forward. His cousin, that guy you saw
All right.
in the interview, that
Yeah.
cousin, he came forward and said, "That's not."
All right, we got about
Elvis.
5 minutes here before we're an
No,
hour in.
Elvis didn't look like that when
I
he
think.
died. That's not Elvis.
It's at
That was a
49
young
minutes.
Elvis in the coffin.
Oh, it's at 40. Oh, that's right. We got a late start because somebody didn't have things set right.
And then when you, and then
Like
when
normal.
you- and then when you watched, we all watched this together. When you watched them carry the coffin up the,
They
thing,
had to have
There was nine guys, and they were big
and
guys.
they stumbled. a
And
little
They were
bit.
big guys, and
they
they
were having a
stumbled.
hard
a little
time
bit.
carrying that thing
Yeah, that had to
because
be-
of the air conditioner in the
Right.
bottom.
So, now, take in consideration about the weight of a coffin and Elvis, this guy, he said he was about 190, 180, 190,
170.
170-ish.
Because that guy that was going to be taking his place
But I don't buy that
was
because he
about
looked close to
200 and something.
200.
That's why
But-
he had to gain weight. But
That's
then
why
the
he
guy,
gained weight.
But then the guy lost weight before
Right.
he died,
Right,
so they
I know.
couldn't use his body.
Right.
Lisa's like, wished I knew you were doing this.
And,
Well,
and,
I didn't know. It was kind of a.
and
Sperm
Do you have a
woman
topic?
thing.
Do you have a topic? 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 Do you? I was
All
like,
right.
do I always have to come up with topics?
but
Is
It
it
was a
always left
after-
on me?
It was a for the moment.
After-
So then all of a sudden I'm like, well, you like Elvis, and my girlfriend Lisa was watching this documentary when I walked in sometime this week, and I'm like, well, let's do this. So there you go.
In other
But-
words, if she would have known that, she would have came and she would have sat in your place. And you should have sat here.
No, she would have been sitting over there, and she would have been saying it because we would have been here watching it all again.
But you know, it just the guy sat there and made a lot of sense. By the way.
Oh yeah, he made
Yes.
tons of sense.
You know, I tend to believe a lot of it because I've been doing this research for many years myself and wondering and digging into it. And
But-
watching the documentaries,
But what?
the documentaries.
But
You know,
She's calling us butts
and here's another little known fact that wasn't in
because she
there.
wanted to be in on this one.
And I'm kind of
She would have loved to have been in on this one.
you know
Told
if,
you, grab him.
if I
He's
was
coming
those
back at you.
people, if I was those people, I would have asked him about Hawaii.
now he's going like this.
Now he's like fucking spinning.
That was the other thing I was kind
That's
of
because I got him
disappointed.
dizzy.
I think you got him a little bit because he's like going. He's going weird. Get it.
Hey,
You would have
Will you
asked
stop?
him about Hawaii
ask me why.
because he spent a lot of fucking time in Hawaii.
There's a little known fact that not a whole lot of people know.
Yeah, what's up?
What's that?
When Elvis did he did a concert or something or whatever he did in Hawaii. Hawaii's a little different because they've got those tribes and there's royalties and stuff
Yep.
like that, right?
Samoans.
Right.
Okay.
One of them made him honorary royalty of some sort and gave him personal access to an island that nobody has access to.
Ooh.
Okay. So that if he ever wanted any kind of solitude, he was able to get away in peace and quiet. And I'm surprised that those people that did so much research and went through the trouble to get some FBI documents didn't come up and ask him about his time in Hawaii. They also, why do you think a lot of his GI type films, like Blue Hawaii started it all, but it started with Blue Hawaii. That's where he got all of this.
Yeah, he filmed a lot of them in
I
Hawaii.
thought his first one was GI Blues.
Right. I don't know. But anyway,
A lot of
one
his
of the-
movies that
one
were
of the
filmed in
movies-
Hawaii.
Yeah.
one of the movies, and because he used a lot of the natives in those movies as well, got him access to that, and the way he did concerts and the way he kept treating the people when he was there.
With
You know.
respect.
And
Yeah.
he ended up gaining this honorary title from a chief. And that honorary title gave him access to this island that nobody has access to unless you're kind of in this royal circle.
In Samoan.
Lisa likes your shirt.
Yeah, don't ya? I think Mark reads one too. Says I'm the meanest asshole you'll ever meet.
Look at that shit-eating grin.
I'm the nicest and he's the meanest.
Whatever. So, how many minutes into this are we?
54.
All right, so
Did
now
you
we've
say
got.
something to that?
I thought it was interesting why he had to marry Priscilla.
Yeah, that part too that the guy said, some of that little fact wasn't too well known either. And I was a little shocked that
He was
didn't go into a
grooming
little
her
bit.
and kind of
Right.
saying that he
But-
was raising her.
Raising her because of how young she was. But
Yeah.
then her
He went
dad got upset
Well,
because
he-
he
he-
sent her to the United States for Elvis to marry her.
See, the thing is,
Yeah.
when he was still
And made a contract
All right.
with Elvis.
this is how
about
it
it.
happened though too. When Elvis was in Germany and he went and met the he's like a colonel or something. I mean, this guy, her father was rank.
Was her father a colonel or a general?
I don't know. I don't remember.
He was ranked.
He was rank. He was
Okay.
high ranking.
He was ranked.
he was a career military man. Okay, let's just put it that way. Okay, he he
That
did the
fucking
old
moth is
fashioned
pissing me
thing.
off.
He went to her father and asked to
To
take her
court her.
back. Yeah, to court her and take her back to the United States with her. And he made conditions, and he wasn't fond of it at first either. He was
Set against it
right,
because he knew who Elvis was.
right. He didn't want her around
The
any
kind
of
of
them rock
player.
and roll types. You know, she's a good girl. I don't want her soiled by them rock and roll drug addict types.
Well,
But
then he also had mentioned that he had basically made her to look. What do you say? Made her to look like a hooker because of the makeup and everything she was wearing.
Oh, a call girl. A Vegas call girl.
Yeah, and that's which
Yeah.
at one point she did
Yeah.
because she
Actually,
totally
she did.
changed.
All right. So, we're coming up on an hour.
Yeah,
So-
we're coming 56 minutes, guys.
So we
So
got
we
about
need
4
to-
minutes now. So we'll do a wrap up.
all right, here's our wrap up. Give me a good beat. Well, you
Okay,
said
you're
rap.
weird.
Oh,
So
boy.
the wrap up on this is we're still unsure.
You're still unsure.
Still unsure.
Yeah, you need proof.
It
But
could go
here's the
either way.
thing, okay? If he was alive today, he'd be 85 years old.
Right.
And that would also mean that he probably doesn't have a lot of time left. So we're gonna kind of have to leave it at that and see if any more information does.
Here's
Come
the
out
only
about
way-
him or
here's
not.
the only way anybody's going to be for sure. Here's how they're going to find out the truth. The only way they're going to find out the truth is that when, let's just say, this guy really is, and he's going by John Burroughs. When John Burroughs passes away, best thing they can do is a DNA test or a blood test.
Yeah.
Because they've
Yeah.
got his stuff on file, I'm sure.
I'm sure they do.
Well, then that would mean that
They could cross-reference
they'd
it.
either have to bury him as John Burroughs, or they'd have to actually put him in his own gravesite and change the name.
They'd still have to. A president would still have to pardon him first.
So then he'd have to be buried as John Burroughs.
Pretty much.
Because
You see-
So-
especially with the
hold
president
on.
we
So-
have today, you know damn well he's not going to get
Right,
pardoned.
but for just for my same, when they did that to a guy where they faked somebody's death before in the past, you were asking me about that. They had to pardon the dude, get a pardon for the dude, in order to bring him back to life after he was done under his deep investigation. I can't remember the article, but the guy was an FBI agent, and to get him out clean without, he was like infiltrated like a big biker gang or something, and to get him out clean, they had a
Wasn't that whenever the dude was with the Hell's Angels?
yeah, I don't know.
I think that was it.
they
yeah,
had to kill him off, and then they had to give him a pardon
To bring him back out.
to
Yeah.
bring him back alive. So that he
But
could
anyway.
testify.
So, I guess conclusion to this is we'll have to check out more information on it and see.
Just keep
But
watching.
keep
If
you know,
if it ever hits, that'll be national news.
keep paying attention. Now, for our next week play date, there's another documentary thing I wanted you to watch on Prime.
What's that?
It's called Walking with the Whites. This guy was military, and he wrote a book, and he was called for Nellis Air Force Base. He was based in Nellis, and he was the weatherman that stayed in the shack out on Range 1, which was the practice range. And I think that would be a good little topic for us
Oh yeah,
to get into.
I have to check it out.
Mm-hmm.
You said this is on Prime.
It's on Prime. It's called Walking with the Whites.
okay. Okay, we are now a little over an hour.
Well,
Right.
sorry, but so this might be a fun one to take a look at too. So
Well, unless the weather's nicer.
yeah, okay. Unless the weather's nicer, then we
Because,
might get check something else out.
nobody can
But
stop us from going to a cemetery and checking it out. And there's a few
um,
local haunts
yeah,
we want to
actually,
get back to.
a lot of people can stop us. Cops can come out and stop us if they want,
But I don't think they're going to.
but that's the whole thing.
We're out in fresh air, and there's not going to be that many people around
No.
walking in a cemetery.
Hopefully not.
At
Except for
night.
dead.
Well,
Some of
let's
the dead.
see. We're gonna have to be out at around 7:30. That's when it starts getting dark now.
So next time, hopefully we'll have. If we do a live show, we'll do it on that. We'll figure something out.
But yeah,
But-
you gotta check that out. It's pretty cool. Lisa and I watched it. I think Friday night.
Just
or
so you
last
all
night,
know,
whatever.
and we'll keep watching.
It was pretty cool.
This isn't going to last long for us because as soon as this fucking COVID-19 bullshit is up and lifted here in Wisconsin, we'll be back out doing some of our investigations.
Yeah, but you gotta realize.
season 2.
You gotta realize though, this is something
it's
that
dangerous.
we haven't been dealing with ever before, and except for back in 1918 during the Spanish flu, and we're a little more advanced in our medical technologies now. But
Well, we should have been ahead of this.
this is something that our government should have been ahead of because
Right.
they knew about this back in December and January, and they dragged their asses on
I
this.
mean,
Which caused all this. And then, of course, you got all these retarded motherfuckers out there that are not taking any of this seriously.
right. I didn't want to get into that too far, but the
So-
other thing I was going to add there was we did have a good investigation scheduled for today.
We had two of them actually, one last weekend and one this
my
weekend, and we
own
didn't get a
protection-
chance to.
Well, this weekend
For my
would have been
own
like
protection, there was
No.
no
3
reason.
and 1.
There was no way I was going anywhere near Grafton right now with that outbreak that I heard. That's why
I
can't
understand.
At the
today.
I understand
nursing
that,
home.
but
You can, but we do have these. These will be rescheduled. We had 2 great ones. One
We
for
have
last
standing
week,
we are standing. Yes, they are standing invitations,
and
and
we had one for today. And I just want to keep reminding
the
you
first one I
folks
busted
out
my
there-
nuts to get us in there.
Right. I just wanted to keep reminding the folks out there that we are going to get back to our investigations as soon.
Oh,
as
yeah,
it's
we will.
safe
We
for
will.
us.
But
Safety
the
is our
one
main issue
that
here.
that I set up, I busted my nuts to get us in there.
Oh yeah, you went through a lot of
And-
fucking red tape. That's for
And
sure.
I made sure that
I was-
it's a standing invitation.
Mark,
so
I was
we're able
excited.
to get in
I
there.
was excited and really looking forward to that. I was just as bummed as you were. But
Oh yeah,
what can you do?
it may be late summer by the time we get in there, but we're gonna get in there,
Plus, I got a
and we're gonna have a lot of fun with this
Plus, I've got a possible third really good location too that we wanted to get back to last year in a very special way, and we're hoping to get back to it this year as well. This will be part 2 to an earlier episode of something we had, and I'm not going to say what it was because I'm going to keep you all guessing. But I've made contact with the person again, and I think he's going to be looking forward to seeing us out on his farm. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So keep watching, check us out. You can find all our
Hopefully.
links,
and hopefully
and
this stuff will get
all our
get
current
past us.
news on utterlyinsaneproductions.com. And this is the Insane Asylum, and we're signing
And
out.
hang on. I want to say one more thing.
Oh.
I want everybody who watches this, regardless if you watch us live or not, stay healthy, stay safe, and avoid this crap the best you can.
Yes.
Because we want you around, because we need you around, because we're going to be having fun once we can get back out.
And again, if you shop Amazon.com, please visit the link at the top of our page and use make your purchases through the link at the top of our page so that Amazon gives us a little bit of a kickback. Every little bit helps us out. Make our show better for you. So good night and be safe.